5-Minute Mom. Okay, so this is my part 4 video in my series about the children. And so my question that I'm trying to answer in the description is, where do we go from here? You have this information. What are we supposed to do with it? Where do we go from here? The first video A, is Operation Underground Railroad Training. It's a training video, so I strongly encourage you to take that course, get certified in that training. The second interview B, is Candace Owens interviewing Tim Ballard. Again, I know Candace Owens is political, and some people like her, some people really don't like her. I feel like this is a really, really good, solid interview that she did with Tim Ballard, and I feel like this shouldn't be a political issue. I feel like Tim Ballard should be being interviewed by Fox and MSNBC and CNN. I feel like they should be calling him at this point to get an interview with him, and they're not. So he ends up with Candace Owens, and I don't even think it was related to Fox. I think it was just on her own show. So anyway, it's a really good interview. It's worth your time to understand more about what's happening. The other thing that I think is really good to understand with this is we have to trust our instincts as moms. Okay, there's a lot that's come out. If the Trolls doll that had the little button between the legs, not good. It's not good. We have to quit making excuses for these companies that it's just supposed to sit down. No, you know what? These companies make children's toys that the LOL dolls, that when you put them in cold water or hot water, some of them are like little prostitute dolls with a fishnet and the weird lingerie. These are children's toys. They have research and development. They have focus groups. This is intentional. We have to quit making excuses. Okay? These toys, at best, were meant to introduce our children to sexually mature concepts, right? At worst, they were created to be used in a trafficking or an abuse situation. And that's the long and short of it. There's nothing good about this. If they had put that in front of any focus group of moms, the moms would have said, oh, hell no. Okay? So they didn't do that. This was intentional. We have to quit making excuses. That's where we are right now. So I'm not gonna give a pass to anyone on stuff like this. And I don't think you should either. So and if you don't know, I will put in the description, if you're not aware of what I'm talking about, the Trolls doll or the LOL dolls, C and D, I'll put a little description in there. If you already know, you can just skip that. And then the other thing I want to talk about is, we've talked a lot about, there's kind of a little story about a village where babies are floating down the river, and they don't know where the babies are coming from, and they do all these things to save the babies that are coming down the river, to say, how to get them out of the river, how to care for them, how to feed them once they're out of the river. They're all focused on saving the babies. But at some point, someone says, maybe we should walk upstream and see why the babies are in the river to begin with. Okay, so take a walk with me upstream. Why are we in a position in our country where we need to rescue children that are being trafficked? Why are we in a position where we have this industry that's billions of dollars? It's the second biggest industry in our country. That's crazy, right? So why are we in this position to begin with? If we walk upstream, what are we going to find? Well, we're going to find online viewing of porn. And this has been going on for a long time. The training that I received what, you know, I learned about brain chemistry and how addiction works in the brain. Sexual addiction is the same. So it changes brain chemistry. It creates a need to get that same rush. You have to do something that creates a greater reaction. So going a little bit further back, if we trace the steps back, basically what I'm saying is going to be a really unpopular opinion right now, and I'm just going to tell you that. I'm going to tell you it like it is. So if we go back to the beginning, you could say it starts with adult porn, right? It starts with magazines. It starts with adult porn and videos. And then it goes to, you know, you need something different. So it's violent porn. It's abusive porn. You need something different. So it's slightly underage, right? And then it just goes from there. And you get to the point where you hear about what Blake Lively's talking about in her video, which I'm not going to talk about because I don't need to. If you didn't watch part 2, then, or part 3, then go back and watch that. I think it was part 3. Anyway, it's the Blake Lively video. So, but that's how we get to babies in the river, right? That's how we get to the victimization of children. I'm going to take it back even one step further and be really unpopular. Some of the shows that are streaming on Netflix or Amazon or Hulu are softcore porn. I'm not going to name names. I feel like you all know this already, and it's really unacceptable. This is a gateway addiction. So maybe you personally are not affected by it that way, or you don't think that you are. Those images don't stay in your head. But for a lot of men and some women, this is how it happens. Okay, so they see this and it triggers something. We should not be watching sexual acts on television. We should not. It's not the same as nudity in art or in sculpture. Okay? It's not. So this is a problem, and this leads to addiction. And if you go up the river, that's what you're going to find. And if it means that those shows need to be rewritten or censored to not include nudity, to not include scenes that are explicitly graphic sexual scenes, then so be it. Because the other problem that we have right now, and I'm going to put a link in for this, link E, or section E, will be about sexual addiction and recovery centers. But the problem that we have is, yes, we're rescuing all the children and we're making all these arrests, but we also have the other half of it. We have to rehabilitate the addicted. So how's that going to look? Because you're talking about millions of views a day. I mean, I don't know. I'm not good with stats. It might even be billions worldwide views and clicks on child pornography every single day. So this is illegal in the United States for people to watch this, and they're doing it anyway. That's an addiction. So I don't really have good answers for that, but I do know that no one is without hope. This garbage, completely false garbage about people being born as a pedophile, or that they can't change. They can't change that, right? I don't believe that for a second. There's no chance of recovery for a pedophile? No, I don't believe that. Now, does that mean that I'm going to ever intentionally put myself or my children in a position where they would be with a known sex offender or alone with a known sex offender for even a second? No, I'm not going to do that. But that doesn't mean that I feel like there's no chance for them to recover. I just feel like that's being cautious, and I also wouldn't recommend them having access to a computer where they could get online. So anyway, that's a whole other thing. But it raises a lot of questions, because we've been talking a lot about the children, which is the point of the series, but we also have to look at the other side of it, what are we going to do with people who are addicted to viewing this? This is a problem. And we need to go back and look at the root of the problem, which I say is adult porn and softcore porn that's programmed into our streaming channels. I know it's unpopular. So that's it for me. God bless you. Good measure, packed down, and flowing over.